Emily believed her life was perfect: a happy marriage, a patient lover, and a thriving career. But I already knew about her affair and had been quietly planning my ultimate revenge. She completely lost control when our daughter Sophia spat in her face and said, "You're a cheating witch. I hope I never see you again." Little did Emily know that day would come much sooner than she expected. Our story begins in the cozy living room of our suburban Chicago home. Tension filled the air as Sophia, trembling with anger, glared at her mother and shouted those heart-wrenching words. Emily, usually so composed and confident, stood frozen, her face pale as the weight of her daughter's accusation hit her like a tidal wave. Across the room, I leaned casually against the doorway, my expression calm but deliberate. A glimmer of quiet satisfaction danced in my eyes. In a steady and introspective tone, I revealed the truth. I had known about Emily's affair with Victor for months but chose silence, allowing her betrayal to unfold while I carefully planned my revenge. Emily had always thought she had it all: a devoted husband, a loving daughter, and a flourishing career. She was admired by many for her charm and success. Yet, as I watched her world crumble, I knew this was just the beginning of the reckoning she would face. Our family had always seemed picture-perfect. Emily was the cornerstone of our social circle, admired for her achievements and grace. I had been her biggest supporter, proud of the life we had built together in our peaceful Chicago suburb. Sophia, our teenage daughter, was the light of our lives. I worked hard to create a home filled with love and stability. But beneath the surface, cracks had already begun to form. At first, the signs of Emily's infidelity were subtle: frequent late nights at work, vague excuses for her absences, and secretive phone calls that filled the air with hushed laughter. The turning point came when Sophia overheard her mother giggling on the phone and mentioning a dinner plan. Emily brushed it off as work-related, but the seed of suspicion was planted in Sophia's young mind. For me, the truth came by accident. One evening, while handing Emily her phone, I caught sight of an incriminating message from Victor. It was brief but intimate, leaving no doubt about her betrayal. Instead of confronting her immediately, I chose silence, determined to protect Sophia and expose Emily's lies methodically. I began quietly collecting evidence, maintaining the facade of a happy husband while watching Emily's web of deceit unravel. Determined to gather undeniable proof, I discreetly followed her and enlisted the help of a private investigator. Every new discovery deepened my resolve. Meanwhile, Sophia's suspicions grew stronger. One day, she spotted Emily and Victor at the mall, laughing and behaving intimately. The sight left her confused and heartbroken. That evening, she cautiously approached me and asked, "Dad, is Mom seeing someone else?" Though her question pierced my heart, I chose to reassure her with a quiet promise to protect her, at least for now. Emily, unaware of the storm brewing around her, grew bolder. Convinced I was oblivious, she dismissed my occasional questions with vague excuses and even gaslit me, accusing me of being too controlling or insecure. Her arrogance only fueled my determination to expose the truth. Time had come. I planned an unforgettable moment to reveal everything. I arranged a seemingly ordinary family dinner at our Chicago home, but this gathering had a twist. I secretly invited Victor's wife, Margaret, ensuring that Sophia would also be present to witness the truth unfold. As the dinner began, the tension was palpable. Then, with calculated calm, I turned on the TV and played undeniable footage of Emily and Victor together. The evidence left no room for denial. Margaret seized the moment, her voice trembling with anger as she confronted Victor, exposing his lies and cowardice. For Sophia, the reality of her mother's betrayal was unbearable. Tears streamed down her face as the facade of our family shattered. Sophia stood, her face flushed with anger, and spat in Emily's direction. "You're a cheating witch. I hope I never see you again," she shouted, her voice trembling with the raw pain of a daughter whose trust had been shattered. Her words echoed in the room, cutting through the tense silence like a blade. Emily's confident facade crumbled as she broke down in tears, desperately trying to apologize, but Sophia stormed out, leaving an unbridgeable chasm between them. James, composed but icy, delivered his final words to Emily. "This is just the beginning of your consequences," he said, his tone devoid of emotion, a stark reminder that her actions had set in motion a series of events that would irrevocably change their lives. This explosive revelation marked the breaking point in their family's story and paved the way for the harsh consequences Emily was yet to face. The aftermath of that fateful dinner sent shockwaves through Emily's life, leaving her world in ruins. James, armed with undeniable evidence of her affair, discreetly leaked the details to Emily's workplace. The revelation caused an uproar among her colleagues. Once respected and admired, Emily was now ostracized and avoided. Victor didn't escape unscathed either. His wife, Margaret, filed for divorce, leaving him financially ruined and socially humiliated. As the dust settled, Emily was forced to resign from her position. Her once thriving career was in shambles. With nowhere else to go, she moved out of the family home, watching the life she had taken for granted slip away piece by piece. For James and Sophia, the fallout was deeply emotional but also provided an opportunity for healing. James devoted himself to rebuilding their lives, prioritizing Sophia's well-being above all else. The betrayal forged an even stronger bond between them as they found solace and strength in each other's support. However, Sophia's pain ran deep. She made the difficult decision to cut ties with her mother entirely, refusing to see or speak to her. Determined to move forward, Sophia left Emily as little more than a painful memory. Desperation drove Emily to one final attempt at redemption. Hoping to reconnect with Sophia, she showed up unannounced at her daughter's school. In front of classmates and teachers, Emily pleaded for a moment of Sophia's time. But her hopes were crushed when Sophia coldly and publicly rejected her. The sting of her daughter's words and the whispers of onlookers left Emily humiliated and shattered. In that moment, the full weight of her betrayal became undeniable. She realized just how much she had lost, not just her family but her dignity and place in their lives. Meanwhile, James's plans for closure took a final calculated turn. Having secured full custody of Sophia through the courts, he ensured that Emily's visitation rights were limited, reinforcing the message that her role in their lives was no longer welcome. To further solidify their fresh start, James sold the family home, a symbol of the life they once shared, and donated part of the proceeds to charity in Emily's name. This mocking gesture served as a public reminder of the consequences of her actions and underlined the fact that her betrayal would continue to haunt her. Emily's downfall became complete. No longer living the life of luxury she once took for granted, she now worked a low-paying job and struggled to make ends meet. She was a far cry from the confident, successful woman she once was. Her days were filled with the harsh reality of rebuilding a life she had destroyed with her own choices. For James and Sophia, however, this chapter of their lives brought closure. They moved forward, free from the shadows of betrayal, determined to create a future built on trust, love, and resilience. The contrast between Emily's downfall and James and Sophia's flourishing new life was stark. Sophia excelled in school, her confidence and happiness gradually returning as she healed from the trauma of her mother's betrayal. James, having found peace in his new reality, focused on giving Sophia the future she deserved, one free from the pain of the past. As the story neared its end, James reflected on the painful yet transformative power of betrayal. Through his perspective, a poignant truth emerged. While betrayal can destroy lives, it also creates opportunities for growth and renewal. The final scene depicted a moment of quiet triumph. James and Sophia moved into a new home, leaving behind the shadows of their old life. It was a fresh start, free from the weight of their past. In a surprising twist, as James closed the door to their new home, the camera lingered on a letter from Emily, left unread on the counter. The letter symbolized her regret, but it was clear that neither James nor Sophia had any intention of looking back. The untouched letter served as a powerful reminder. Emily's betrayal would never define their future. As the door closed, it signified the end of that painful chapter and the promise of a brighter tomorrow for James and Sophia. The story concluded with a clear and powerful message. Trust is fragile, hard to build but easy to destroy. When betrayal strikes, it doesn't mark the end but rather the beginning of a new chapter. James and Sophia's journey demonstrated that even after the deepest wounds, healing and growth are possible. Their new life became a testament to resilience, proving that the end of one chapter can lead to the hopeful beginning of another. The audience is invited to reflect. Was James's revenge justified? Could he have handled the situation differently? What would you have done in his place? Thank you for being part of this story. If it resonated with you, please consider sharing your thoughts and subscribing for more captivating narratives that explore emotional depth, personal transformation, and the complexities of human relationships. Don't forget to click the notification bell to stay connected as we continue exploring heartfelt journeys together.